All right, could you give us an example? I thought it'd be fun if we, maybe you tried to help me build part of a memory palace on the spot to see if I could then say it back to you.
Oh, hey, I'd be happy to do that, man. All right, so this is also, it requires another internal sense of imagination.
Okay.
So I invite you, Matt, and everyone who might be watching, listening, turn your powers of imagination and concentration on high. I want you to join me at my own house in central Illinois.
Okay.
It is a sprawling ranch house surrounded by some mature maple and oak trees.
Am I allowed to ask what I'm memorizing first, or are you getting to that?
Well, how about, well, you know, it's actually better if you know first, it's easier.
If you, okay.
If you know first, but sometimes just to add to the suspense and to make it a little more difficult, I won't reveal it until the end.
All right.
Okay, so you come into my front door.
All right.
My front door opens up, and you're blinded by this light. This blinding light is there. Like, what is that? And you hear this resounding crash.
Okay.
So there's my front door. That's number one.
Uh-huh.
You're thinking, boy, what kind of house does this guy have? So next, you step in on my doormat. That's number two. And while you're on my doormat, you hear this noise. You realize you're hearing all this cursing and cussing. And you realize it's coming from the doormat. It's got a mouth, you know. So you thought, wow, well, maybe I'm going to kind of try to stand on his lips and stop that. But for some reason, I've got a cursing doormat. Number two.
All right.
Right? Number three. Next to my front door is a glass panel. And it looks out into the front yard. And you just glance out there and you say, wow, look at that. I didn't realize that's the most beautiful day I've ever seen. It's all sunny and the sky is blue. So number three, there's this glorious, beautiful day that you see. Now, we're back in the entranceway, the foyer. Number four, up on the wall is a portrait. And it is a portrait of not mine, but your own parents.
Very strange house.
That's right. Yeah. What's this guy doing with mom and dad up there? But there's number four.
Okay.
There's your parents. Now, we're going to do 10 if that's all right.
Yep.
Number five, over on the side wall here of the foyer, for some reason, is a gun rack. Big
what am I
rifles on
gonna
it.
Do with a gun rack? Wayne's World. Keep going.
Wayne's World reference.
Sorry.
Excellent.
All right.
Yeah,
gun rack.
we'll find out what we're going to do with it. But the gun rack also it has to have a padlock on it.
Okay.
So a padlocked gun rack is number
gun
five.
rack. Got it.
Now, number six is just the center of the foyer.
Okay.
And this is kind of an unusual one. You see some guy there, and he's acting very secretive. It's a secretive adult. He's like kind of trying to hide his face with his collar. But number six is the secretive adult. Number seven's real easy. You look over your head, and there's a chandelier, but it's made of solid steel. There's no glass, just pure steel chandelier.
Okay.
All right, and that was seven. Number eight, we're over on the other wall now of the entranceway, and there's a mirror on it. And when you look in there, you see your own face, but you know this house is kind of weird, so it's not just your face. It's all distorted like one of those circus houses of mirrors where you're really skinny or you're really huge or something. So there's this false distorted image in that mirror, number eight. Now we're almost finished. Under that mirror is a little cushioned bench. And who should be sitting there but your next door neighbor's wife? Okay. Well, what if your next door neighbor doesn't have a wife? You know, or you don't have an next door neighbor? It doesn't matter. We're just going to imagine that person, right?
Okay.
And then number 10. Finally, number 10, there are some little drawers underneath the cushion of that bench. And you pull those open, and out pop all these wrapped presents. All these presents pop out for number 10.
Got it.
Okay. Now, and you let me know, Matt, you remember repetition's the mother of memory.
Yes.
So I usually recommend that we do these, or do we need to do that? Or what's your preference?
I think I've got it. I may not, and we'll find out.
All right.
But,
all right. Well,
okay. So do you want me to say them back to you? Or?
Well, sure.
No, or what did you want?
Okay. Or yeah, we can do it that way, or I can say number one.
And then I'll say it back to you. Okay, so number one, open the door, blinding light, crash.
Excellent. Then number two.
Weird Matt with lips uttering profanities.
There you go. I'm sorry, I
Pints with
heard you say
Aquinas.
weird Matt. I thought,
What was that?
That's Pints with Aquinas.
Yes, exactly.
that's good. Good stuff. And then number 3.
Is the panel of glass looking over a beautiful day or seeing a beautiful day?
That's right. And number 4.
Weird portrait of my parents in your house for some reason.
There you got it. And 5.
There is a gun rack and it's locked.
Yes, that's right. And number 6.
Is a weird dude hiding his face.
That's true. Number 7.
A steel chandelier above him.
Now we're getting a tough one. 8.
8 is the house of the weird mirror.
That's right. Number 9.
Is my next door neighbor's wife.
And number 10.
Drawer filled with presents.
Okay. All right. You got it, Matt.
I wonder if this is wonderful because people are like, okay, I hope this pays off because this is the weirdest podcast I've ever watched. So,
Well, then, if that's the case, I hope St. Thomas is smiling down on us because he said these should be strange.
okay.
So did St. Albert.
Yeah.
But sometimes I give this demo, I'll tell people a true story that when I was little, if I said something that was weird, didn't seem to make sense, my mom was a farmer's daughter. She came from a farm, and she would say, "What does that have to do with the price of beans?"
Yeah.
You know,
My wife. My mom would say something similar.
what does that have to do with the price
Freudian
of beans?
slip.
What sense does that make? So,
Yeah.
So what did we really memorize with those images?
Okay.
And do you want me to reveal? or-
Yes.
All right.
Please.
All right. Let's think about something that we all probably know, but maybe not in their exact order. Okay. Number 1 was that light and crash.
Well, first of all, what is it? Can you just tell us what is the 10 things we're memorizing and then go through them just so people stick around?
Yeah. Oh, well, if you know these images, you now know the 10 commandments in their exact order.
Okay, 10
in their
commandments.
exact order.
Gotcha.
Because in the first commandment, that bright light represents God. We're to love God alone. You know, God said, "Let there be light," symbolized by light. We threw in a crash to represent the false idols that are crashing, right? So that's the first commandment, that all our love and focus is upon God and not false idols. The second commandment, the cursing doormat, reminds us not to use the Lord's name in vain.
Mm-hmm.
The third commandment, the glorious day, reminds us keep holy the Sabbath or Lord's Day. Couldn't be easier than number 4, to honor father and your mother.
Uh-huh.
Number 5, thou shalt not kill. Yeah, and I will say, this foyer is patterned largely after our own foyer. As my wife had arranged it at that point in time, it changes. But I do tell people I do not have a gun rack in my foyer.
Okay.
But I remember one time I told this story on a Louisiana Catholic radio, and I said that, and the guy said, "Oh, no, nothing unusual about having a gun rack in your foyer." Okay, well, it is where I come from. But anyway, that represented, of course, thou shalt not kill.
Yes.
Now, number 6 might be one of the tougher ones. Remember, we had the secretive adult. Well, he's ashamed because of his adultery.
Ah, gotcha.
So I try to throw in the word adult. Okay, adultery, and then we're symbolizing.
I love that these are
shame.
multi-layered.
Yeah, some of them I try to do, except some that were so easy and straightforward. Number 7, the steel chandelier.
Thou shalt not steal. That makes
So sometimes they can just be a homonym, a sound-alike word. Because the mnemonics themselves don't have to be profound at all. They can be silly.
Yeah.
But they're reminding you of things that are profound.
Yes.
And then in like my own memory books, after we've gone through the memory tour, then we kind of dig in and do commentary. You know, what's a deeper meaning? But the little memory tour just sets it all up so you actually know it. And then
the mirror. What's that
mirror.
one?
And this is the hardest one probably. It had false image it showed of you.
Yes.
So it's not to bear false witness, not to
see.
distort the truth. So it's kind of a little bit more metaphorical, a little
cool,
tougher one
cool,
there.
cool.
Then we get back to the easy ones. Thou shalt not covet, of course, thy neighbor's wife or thy neighbor's goods.
Got you.
Symbolized by, or represented by the neighbor's wife in actual packages or goods. So yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. And sometimes if I do demos with the live audience,
Can I try and do it?
Yeah.
I'll try and do it backwards.
Oh yeah, great, because that's what I often do next.
So the 10th commandment is thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods. The 9th is thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. The 8th is thou shalt not bear false witness. The 7th is thou shalt not steal. The 6th is thou shalt not commit adultery. The 5th is thou shalt not kill. Am I right so far? Or am I missing
You're
something?
right. Unless I'm not paying
The
attention, you're right on.
4th is honor thy mother and father. The 3rd is keep holy the Sabbath. The 2nd is thou shalt not, what is that? Blaspheme, but what is that commandment? Thou shalt not...
use the Lord's name in vain. Yeah.
And the first is thou shall, don't tell me, honor God, worship him alone.
Yeah, worship God alone, and not false idols.
That's
You did
amazing.
it.
Just so everybody knows, we didn't practice this before we went live.
No.
That's amazing.
We didn't.
Yeah,
And
and I
you
bet
got
if you,
them
and I
for-
bet people can do that who are watching this at home. If somebody had have said to you 10 minutes ago before you listened to this, do you think you could say the 10 Commandments backwards? They'd be like, I don't even know if I could say them forwards. So here, I just thought of another idea, because you said that mirror was very bizarre.
Yeah.
I think another idea would have a Jehovah's Witness there, because he tells lies.
Oh, and it's the witness.
Sorry, Jehovah's Witnesses who are watching, but I mean, he's bearing false witness, and he's a Jehovah's Witness.
See, and that, you really hit on
But
something.
you got to own it, right? You got to make it your own.
Exactly right. Because, like when I do my books, I'm using whatever pops into my head, But sometimes something will pop into your head that might be much better objectively or be much better for you. Like that one's actually better than what I use in the book, right? So that is the idea behind these techniques too. You eventually develop your own, and I just love that one about actually includes the word witness in it and the distorted and also. So yeah, really, really good stuff. And yeah, I've known kids
That's
from
incredible.
Elementary school age kids. I remember when Memorize the Faith first came out, a neighbor in her 80s said, "Hey, Kevin, I read your book and thought this is too hard for me." She goes, "I woke up in the middle of the night and I realized, I know the 10 Commandments and the 7 virtues." So she didn't even realize that it actually had stuck.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment below letting us know what you thought about the video.